Now, some residents living in and around the Songo Lagoon in the Greater Accra region have fled the town following what is alleged to be a police raid there. Some of them who spoke to Joy News say about 20 people, including some chiefs, were picked up by the police during the raid. They also claimed 4 persons had been shot. Last week, a group calling itself Concerned Residents in and around the Songo Lagoon called for a halt in the alleged police and military brutalities. They claimed the military was intimidating them because they opposed the government handover of the lagoon to Electrochem Ghana to win salt in that lagoon. Their lawyers at a news conference catalogued a number of assaults on residents and called for a ceasefire.
On the 5th of February 2021, police raided our community in a show of force and arrested 9 of us, in which 5 sustained various degrees of body harm for daring to go to the lagoon to win salt. And if I say we, it means the communities affected. 2, on 16th May 2021, the police arrested and handcuffed Benjamin Enim to his bed in Doze Hospital for several days. 3, on the 21st of May 2021, Ebenezer Anim, brother of Benjamin Anim, of Salom, were also arrested at Kese Ada for defying the moratorium banning community members from winning salt in the Songo Lagoon. 4, on 14th of June 2021, the police arrested the following people from Midday and Lufinya: Peter Ali Haho Colley, Joshua Colley, Evans Colley, and Abraham K. Ayonu, as well as Godwin Ayonu.
Now, on Monday, some residents expressed worry that they were being maltreated.
Our property, our property. Our property, they can't take. We don't like. We don't like. Party, they can't give us. We don't like. We don't like what our own team. You can't give us bribe. We say we don't like a bribe. And you can't shoot us for our own town.
Ope, Jenny tuon namu.
You go Casa police station. Yes. One policeman there, they got a OPK. One of your boys where they shoot me. They got a OPK, they can say. You gotta shoot me. You gotta shoot me. If it's something with me, I will wound. And I will let you tell me.
Now, the district chief executive of Ada West, Ajote lawyer Akrofi, joins us on phone. Now, sir, with what has been reported to your office, what have you been told about the incident? Lawyer Akrofi, can you hear me?
Hello?
Great. You're live on Joy News today, sir. What have you been told about this morning's incident?
This morning? Okay. As far as I know, there have been series of disturbances, I will call, from some members of the community which seem not to support the Electrochem project. They have not resorted to any legal means, but rather they've resorted to taking the law into their own hands. Some of the incidences I recall which came before us as dissect, whether somebody had reported an incident to them that somebody had destroyed his pans in the Songo Lagoon, what we call the artisanal salt winning. He reported to the police. When the police went to arrest, they attacked the police. And that brought about the Juji incident that you were talking about. They attacked the police. And then somebody got wounded as a result of that. That is what we know officially. You can verify this fact from either the divisional police commander or from my district police commander.
Right.
The incident you were talking about last Thursday again, they did the same thing and banned motorbikes of workers of Electrocare without any provocation.
Right.
Again yesterday, which is the most recent incident the person was talking about. Even though I wasn't in the district at that time, I was for a medical review. They called to tell me the police and then some members were that Electrochem were doing a community plan as part of their social responsibilities at Machekopi, a village near Toflopo, Salom. And then people attacked them from Lufenya, Kwalekopi, Luhuo, Salom, and Toflopo. These were the people who are opposed to the project. They attacked and burned the offices. Earlier on, there have been series of this where they seized the equipment of Electrochem. The matter is with the police. They haven't surrendered them yet. And then on Thursday again, they burnt motorbikes and all their equipment over there. And then again, yesterday, they did the same thing at Machekopi. When the workers were there, they had to flee, not the people who attacked them. And that was where the police went in to restore law and order. During the course of this, they had arrested about 23 people, and they have been processed, and they are in Tema at the moment. So for details of that, you can obtain from either the regional police command in Tema or my police command here at the district level or at the divisional level. So
well, you are the head of the Security Council, are you not?
Hello?
You are the head of the District Security Council, are you not?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Are you aware that persons were shot in the incidents that you described yesterday?
Yesterday?
Yes.
No, the police never told me that. And nobody also reported that.
So you have not heard that report, but you were not there, as you mentioned.
Yes. The commander who came to me about an hour ago to brief me never mentioned anything like that.
Great. Have any persons been wounded in these disturbances that you have described since last week?
Yes. The boy they attacked at Machekope, for instance, has been badly wounded and receiving medical attention.
Who is this boy, Mr. Akrofi?
Hello?
Who is this boy who has been badly wounded?
Yes. His name is Te Sewon from Machekope.
And he's a member of the community?
Yes.
He's one of these people who is opposed to the setup of this industrial company?
No. He's one of the security people at the Machekope site.
Right. So what I would also like to understand is that beyond this boy you describe, has anyone else been reported to any hospital with any wounds, with any offensive injuries or assault injuries?
No, as far as I'm concerned, no.
Right. These persons who are being held as the Tema region office, on what charges or on what grounds are they being held?
Of course, I will not know that because they attacked and burned places. So I think that's a violation of the law. Going to attack some people in their premises and burning the premises. I believe that's so.
So even if those are not the charges, they are being arrested because of that incident. So, Mr. Kofi, what I want to understand now is that this young man, this employee of the company you're referring to, what kind of wounds did he sustain?
Yes. The one, according to the police and the medical one, because I saw him also, they used sticks to hit the head very badly, the breast, and then the eyes also. And then he has something like a dislocation in the arm, so he's not working properly now. That was what I saw at the police station.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Ajote lawyer Akrofis DCE for Adar West. Let's move on to other stories. And the teacher unions, Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, and the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, CCT, say there are challenges facing pre-tertiary education in the country. Some of the issues raised are teaching and learning materials, contact hours, upgrade of teachers, promotion crisis, some allowances, transfer of teachers in special schools, and others. Thomas Musa is General Secretary of NAT.
Tertiary education unions, we have NAT, NAGRAT, and CCT Ghana. In spite of the progress Ghana has made in improving access to education for all, there are still challenges inhibiting thousands of children. The authorities have failed to provide teachers and pupils with modern aids to teaching and learning. We, the teacher unions, are hereby serving notice that if by the close of September 2021, and we repeat, if by the close of September 2021, and we repeat for the third time, if by the close of September 2021, all these issues are not resolved in full by the employer, then we will have no option than to advise ourselves in the best interest of our members within the framework of our collective agreement and applicable laws of Ghana. We, by this same conference, apprising the National Labour Commission, that's the NLC, of the development and intent in case of failure of the GES to address our concerns. Ours is a noble task, which must be done, and that is what we are just doing.
Let's move on to other stories. And Greater Accra Regional Security Council has resumed enforcement of the law criminalizing non-adherence of the COVID-19 safety protocols. Heads of the 29 municipal and district assemblies, together with their divisional commanders, have been tasked to conduct inspections at the beaches, markets, and even trottoirs to ensure that the strict compliance with the COVID-19 protocols is kept. The move, according to the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey, is aimed at containing the spread of the pandemic in the region. Mr. Quartey, speaking to Joy News, observed that the security personnel would not hesitate to arrest and prosecute persons in breach of the protocols.
We are aware that there's a third variance, and we only have to activate the existing protocols. Now, we have directed that the security and intelligence agencies begin to enforce or to ensure strict compliance of these COVID safety protocols.
Is it going to be a wholesale thing or is targeted, first of all?
Well, if you recall, the last time we did it, all the assemblies were tasked to hold, if you like, MUSEC and DISEC meetings. And these bodies represent the security structure of the local governance at the district and municipal assemblies. Once they do that, they educate the people, they bring the awareness, they sensitize the place, and they ensure that enforcements are done. So all we are saying is that what we did some months ago, that the beaches and all that were closed, we want to revisit that. Mr. President has given clear directives as to how things should go. Open area, strict compliance to the safety protocols, i.e. washing hands, wearing face masks and all that. And that is all we are saying. We are not reinventing the wheel.
So we see the policemen on the streets.
We see the security and intelligence agencies working together with the assemblies.
I see, but I want to understand this. The conversation about those who are in breach of the protocol, what then will happen to them when your people meet them?
Every act law in this world has areas of penalties. Right. And we all know the penalties when one breaches the COVID safety protocols. That will be applied. And indeed, it should be in conformity or guided by what the law prescribes when there's an offense. But as much as possible, the assemblies have been encouraged to try and educate the people more than using the brute force. Yeah.
So when we see any form of arrest going for a lot of education from the assembly.
I am not saying that we will not see any form of arrest. We are saying that it is a combination of how to ensure compliance and intervention.
Meanwhile, the minister also indicated that RegSec will soon prohibit the use of tricycles, popularly known as aboboya, on highways and principal streets of Accra.
We are saying that the aboboyas cannot ply, they cannot use the principal streets and highways in Accra. However, an alternative measure has been put in place for them, i.e., we are saying that going forward, all the aboboyas should operate within their catchment areas. Fortunately, catchment areas in this case is defined as the municipal or district assembly areas. So aboboya registers with the DVLA and then registers with their respective assemblies to be given the business operating permits. Once that is given, they are expected to operate within the assemblies. Now the question arises, so if they lift the rubbish from Sekil and they want to take it to Ajin Kotoku, right, what do they do? We are saying that the waste management companies are supposed to provide transfer sites in all the 29 assemblies. And that is a must. They have to do it. We are also, after further consultations and stakeholder engagements, we'll be launching these bylaws on the 24th of August this year at the Rawlinson Park. After the launch, there will be a grace period, a moratorium, maybe a month, maybe two, that will be agreed upon by the committee. During this time, the waste management companies would have to, as quickly as possible, ensure that there are transfer sites in all the 29 assemblies. And then the assemblies are also going to be tasked to educate the people.
Back to education now, and the ministry is championing an initiative to promote STEM education in Ghana's high schools and tertiary institutions. At a stakeholder consultation meeting, Minister for Education, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, expressed the need to introduce biomedical sciences as part of courses studied at both the high school and tertiary levels in order to promote science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education in the country. The minister also stressed the need to open our education systems to also benefit children from rural areas who do not have the means to afford quality education, citing the free SHS policy as a means to achieve this. Stakeholders at the meeting, including officials from the University of Cape Coast, highlighted major interventions which they are ready to adopt to promote STEM education in Ghana. My colleague Judith Aochitando is at the event and joins us via Zoom. Judith, what are some of the major proposals being made by stakeholders as interventions to promote STEM education in Ghana?
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel. So we had the provost for the College of Education in UCC, Prof. Ernest Davis, who explained the need for the university to begin a 3-credit course for students to take STEM-related programs. Now, he also said that this would be compulsory for all undergraduates, so it's something that they are starting as of now. Now, he also explained the need for schools, especially primary schools, to create clubs that will make STEM education more interesting and fun, especially to the youth in primary schools and in high schools. We also had the CEO for Silicon Valley explaining the importance of drone technology to agricultural and health security systems. He has created a team which uses drones in the distribution of water on our farmlands using the sprinkling method. The drones also distribute food resources onto these farmlands for the plants to grow properly. Now, he also made a mention of the drones that are currently being used for distribution of PPEs, especially in the COVID era in some parts of the country. And he explained that these interventions are stepping stones and ways in which STEM education can be utilized. So these are some of the major proposals that were highlighted at the event.
Now, I noticed you talked about officials of the University of Cape Coast introducing courses for their students. Is there any indication from the ministry itself that programs like this will be rolled out across the country to other universities?
Okay, so for now, the provost of UCC, the College of Education of UCC, was just proposing these things to the ministry. So we are just waiting on the ministry to tell us whether they would take this into consideration and would want to make it a general thing in all the universities. Yes.
Judith, thank you very much for those updates. Let's move to other stories, especially in agriculture, where government has deferred full operationalization of the Wale Wale watermelon factory in the northeast region to March 2022, marking the third major deadline to elapse since the construction of the project began in December 2019. The West Mamprushi Municipal Chief Executive Arimea Somo-Lucky, who disclosed to Joy News, said the delay was as a result of procurement challenges. The MCE was speaking after watermelon farmers in the region blamed government as chunks of the produce lie rotten on farms due to a lack of ready market.
Chunks of watermelon fruit in parts of the region are going bad and farmers are crying over their lost investment. The farmers said they had banked their hopes on the government watermelon juice production company, who they had been promised would have been completed before this farming season. The factory was a campaign promised by the government upon realizing the plight of watermelon farmers in the region. However, it's been 3 years since the ground for the construction of the factory was broken by the vice president at Logre. The factory is yet to be completed. The farmers are now pleading with the government to speed up work to complete the factory and put it into use. The factory should have been functioning by now. They would have been here to buy and save the produce from going bad. The government should be serious about the factory because we incur debt all the time.
I have to plead on the government that if the factory is on process, they should try as much as possible to do it fast for us so that we are suffering. Now that we were not having factories, and the watermelons, it was buying somehow. But now we are having factories, or we are going to be having a factory, and the watermelon is not buying.
Not only farmers bear this perennial brand, but other players in the watermelon value chain, including sellers like these women and teenage girls who have pitched camps on the Nasia Wale Wale stretch of the Tamale Balka Highway to sell the fruit. We had hoped the factory would be open this year. That is why farmers increased the cultivation of the fruit. But unfortunately, they failed to open it. The factory must open to save us. There is no market. We are out here struggling to feed, but there is a glut and people are not buying the fruit. The Ghana Exim Bank, which is financing the project, had promised to complete it within 9 months. The factory is situated in West Mamprusi municipality, and the MC for the area has been explaining the reasons for the delay.
It is a concern for the government, and the government is aware. We have continuously informed the government about what is happening in the West Mamprusi municipality. Wale Wale is a very big hub for production of watermelon, and that is why we are happy that the president, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, think of Wale Wale and has given us the watermelon factory. It has been, constructed. The problem of the factory was not because there was no money, but because of the process of procurement. Unfortunately and finally, it has been done. Money has been released to them. Exim Bank has supported them. They have also informed me accordingly that they have received funds to work on. So there's nothing to keep them.
Somolaki also said the factory upon completion will create direct employment opportunities for the youth, adding that the factory will be completed and utilized.
So I know and I sympathize with the people who have their products being rotten at the farm. I want to tell them that the government knows much about their problems. Their municipal chief executive and their member of parliament knows about their problems and challenges. And inshallah, together, we shall work it out. For our critics, they will always criticize because that is what they are meant for. But the reality is that the government is working. The reality is that the municipality is working. NDC should tell us in Western Policy if they have ever brought one single project that was aimed of ameliorating the people from poverty. You can only criticize, but you have no solution to the problem of Ghana.
For Joy News, Ilyasu Tanko reporting.
The Kumasi now, and the National Ambulance Service says the abuse of sirens by a section of the motoring public is affecting its smooth operations. The Ashanti Regional Manager Somik Dut Milan indicates that some drivers fail to heed and pave way for ambulances on their sirens due to the abuse in the system. The service has efficiently responded to over 4,000 cases in the Ashanti region since the beginning of this year.
The use of sirens in vehicles is legally reserved for specific institutions, especially for emergency and security purposes. These include the Ghana National Fire Service, the Ambulance Service, and the Police Service. Ashanti Regional Director for the Ambulance Service, Somik Dut Milan, observed an increase in patronage of its services as public confidence soars. But there are challenges with human resources and the abuse of these sirens.
Now, people don't know the difference between the ambulance and then ordinary cars. You know, normally on weekends you see a whole lot of V8 on siren. And the drivers are fed up with the siren, and even when they hear the siren, they don't know that now it's an emergency or somebody is using the siren for the personal gains and all that. So it's really a challenge. When you are even on siren, it becomes difficult for the drivers to open and pave way for you.
Some drivers and pedestrians complain about the siren nuisance. They want enforcement of laws on the use of sirens. I am so much displeased when I see these things. I even feel less important because some supposed rich men would try to avoid the traffic by turning on their sirens. From observation, they are just ordinary people.
And I be a Speaker of Parliament, and I be a Vice President, and as a police.
It's reasonable if it's the president or any notable government official. But now even ordinary people driving SUVs will turn on their sirens and try to avoid traffic.
At times there are no emergencies, but these people will still force their way through. If it's an ambulance, fair enough. Aside that, those using sirens create confusion.
The Ashanti Regional Commander of the Police Motor Traffic and Transport Unit, Chief Superintendent Emmanuel Eduboahin, says the police are keen on dealing with the situation.
If you disobey the law, then it means that and you are arrested. Let me read it. A person who contravenes this regulation commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not more than 20 penalty units or to a term of imprisonment of not more than 30 days or to both. So if you use the siren and you are not permitted, this is the penalty thereof if you are sent to court. But don't forget, it is not only the use of the siren which is dangerous. If you are driving and you are facing oncoming vehicles and you are not permitted by law to use the siren and you are facing oncoming vehicles, and your police arrest you, it can also charge you for dangerous driving, because you know that what you are doing can cause danger to any other road user.
Emmanuel Osei reporting from Kumasi.
This is Joy News Today with me, Daniel Dazi. Now, tourism is a key economic driver in Ghana. The sector is currently the 4th largest source of foreign exchange earnings, creating jobs and stimulating other sectors of the economy. More on this in business.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. Tourism is a key economic driver in Ghana. The sector is currently the 4th largest source of foreign exchange earnings, creating jobs and stimulating other sectors of the economy. However, the existing tourism potential in the Ashanti region is yet to be fully tapped. The African Travel and Tourism Association has begun mobilizing resources to enhance the economic fortunes of tourist sites in that region. There is more in this report.
In Ghana annually visit the Ashanti region. Founding member and chair of the association, Ahmed Naaman, has therefore reiterated the need for more investment in tourist sites in the region. He believes this will make the region attractive.
We need to really revive the cycle of tourism in the Ashanti region. Nobody can tell our story more than us, because we are the ones on the ground. We are the professionals, we are the tour operators, and we partnered with the media people like you. Kumasi has a lot of attractions to visit. This morning we started from the zoo to the culture center to prepare the second museum. We went all the way to Kumfanoshi Sword. We are now at the military museum.
Notable tourist sites in Kumasi include the Prempeh II Museum, the Kumasi Zoological Gardens, the Armed Forces Military Museum, the Okonfo-Anokye Sword Site, and the Menchia Palace. In 2018, the Kumasi Zoo recorded 60,000 visitors around the world. Though the COVID-19 pandemic affected patronage, the zoo estimated 100,000 tourists this year. There are ongoing enhancement projects at the zoological gardens to make it attractive. These include a canopy walkway and addition of more exotic animals. Zeka Meyiri is resident wildlife veterinarian and zoo manager.
Currently, you can see there's a lot of renovation works ongoing, and this is to lift the zoo to a very high level. We are envisaging to making Kumasi Zoo one of the best zoos in West Africa, so that we can attract more visitors, not just only for the revenue, but for people to learn the conservation of our wildlife species and to.
Ahmed Naaman has, however, observed funding of tourist attractions has been a major challenge. He's hoping the sector will receive support under the COVID-19 alleviation grant.
Our major obstacle in promoting the association is funds. You know, because our members are out of business, or some of us are really doing very little business. It is not enough for us to extend our support to the association. So, and then we have tried as much as we can to set up the association and put it on the track, but it takes also funds to run the association. Recently, the government have initiated the COVID alleviation fund, which some members have benefited from. We have a grant that the government is also offering to the Ministry of Tourism. Most of our members have registered for. This is a very good initiative because it will help us get back those who have lost their jobs to come back on board.
The association, as part of its one-year anniversary, took a 3-day tour of selected tourist sites in the Ashanti region. Mona Lisa Frimpong reporting.
Another story we are keenly following for you. The Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders has reached out to national security to intervene in what it terms unlawful blacklisting of its members and some exporters from transporting goods globally. Now, some exporters have reported to Joy Business that they have been blocked and denied access to their goods unlawfully by a Maersk shipping line for unknown reasons. According to the president of the Institute, Eddie Akrong, the behavior of the shipping line towards Ghanaian businesses has been a cause for worry at the port, hence immediate action is needed to bring them to book.
How do you resolve it? And then, so this was Friday. Some of these have been going on for about 2 weeks. So So as of Friday, if these have not been resolved, today we are told that Shippers Authority has been there. And then we're yet to, get to Shippers Authority to find out how this was resolved. What is the resolution? So we need to know that now, if nothing is done about it, because we can't keep our members off from sitting, and then because they're just sitting there, they are also accountable to their clients. Demurrage is involved, and they are not going to stop the demurrage. The port rent involved, they are not going to stop the port rent. And then somebody has to pay. But we can't let this continue.
What's the next line of action?
I'll tell you what. So this is what we're doing. We want to do the proper thing. So we gathered all the information from all these members. And I just said 12 from the last count, that 12 members. That I'm saying if you put us all together, I'm sure there will be way more than that. So what we're doing, that we're properly telling them, please stop this one now and then try and do your investigations. So secondly, we have gone to the National Security Coordinator here today. We are writing officially to the Minister of, the National Security Minister, that this is a clear and present danger. This is a threat to the youth of the country and our businesses, okay, and should be taken care of. If we do that, we believe that these issues should be resolved ASAP, and they shouldn't take 100 years. We still have the legal option, we'll go there, but then we'll take any action we can to make sure this is resolved. Trust me, we would have to shake them down to make sure this is resolved. It cannot happen in our country.
More business news at the top of the hour on the marketplace. Meantime, you can check out our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Up next, Muftar will have some news on the Ghana Premier League in sports. Don't go anywhere.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Sports On Joy News today with me, Muftar Nabila Abla. Let's start with stories on the new Ghana Premier League season, where the Ghana Football Association have announced that the league will kick off on the weekend of October 29 to Monday, November 1. Across all league centers. This follows approval of the plan for the 2021-2022 football season by the Executive Council. Charles Macarius of Joy Sports has the rest of the story.
The process towards the kickoff of the new season begins with the opening of registration window of players and officials on Monday, 9th August 2021, which will close on Saturday, October 9th, 2021. Champions Accra Hatzefolk SC will defend the title as the competition welcomes 3 new promoted sides: Real Tamale United FC, Bibiani Gold Stars SC, and Accra Lions FC to the top flight. The Premier League will run until Sunday, June 19, 2022, as the association takes steps to realign its football calendar after the disruptions caused by COVID-19. The Women's Premier League will start on Friday, December 10, 2021, and end on Sunday, May 29, 2022, followed by the Women's FA Cup final on Sunday, June 5, 2022. Whilst the Division 1 League will start on November 12, 2021, and end on Sunday, June 12, 2022. As usual, the MTN FA Cup final will close the season on Sunday, June 25, 2022. As stipulated by the GFA statutes, the association will go to its annual congress before the kickoff of the competitions.
Now let's talk about Masai Deseli, who has been praising the new leadership of the Ghana Football Association for coming up with an initiative called Bring Back the Love campaign. According to him, this initiative has the potential of getting corporate institutions to invest in the game of football. However, he believes there's a lot of work to be done.
The new leadership of the Ghana Football Association, in their bid to revive interest in the local game, started a slogan dubbed Bring Back the Love, an initiative many believe is gradually winning the interest of the football community. Masai Deseli, a former France international, eulogized the football governing body for the initiative.
They are trying. I mean, I talk about Jamil, who is one of the marketing. You know, it's like a chain. You need to organize the interest. I like the idea of what they say, bringing back love, into the stadiums. It's good. It's a good idea. You need to bring back the people into the stadiums. The local matches have to be followed by our local people to bring more crowd, to bring more interest about the sponsors. once the sponsors comes and the crowd, the broadcast comes also, you generate a little bit more money. You try and structure also each club to make sure they respect the players, the payments, they have also facilities. So it's a whole lot of work for us to be able to develop, our local football.
Despite an idea he says has a potential of winning the interest of the people and the corporate society to invest in the Ghanaian game, he insisted there is still a lot of work to be done.
We have a hard work to do because all the players also are leaving the country too early because they are attracted by interest, by money. So if you structure very well your league, you are able to keep some of the players and develop them on ground to make sure they are ready to go abroad and now start to perform.
The just ended Ghana football season is the first to be completed since 2017.
That is your sport for now. However, we've got a lot of sports stories to share with you on myjoyonline.com. As you can see, Lionel Messi is close to joining Paris Saint-Germain after Barcelona exit. That's according to Spanish journalist Guillaume Balague. And the national record relay team was not a surprise. That's according to Benjamin Azamati. Reports also have suggested that Lionel Messi is currently airbound to Paris. Unfortunate news also hit us earlier today that the former manager of Abedi Pele, Jones Abu Alassan, has passed on. Thanks very much for your company.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News today. Now, actress Beverly Afaglu says a fire started by her mother could be the cause of the complete burn down of her house in Tema. Here is the actress recounting on Daybreak Hit this morning how the unfortunate incident happened.
My mom has a garden at the back of the house. So, I mean, a woman who is almost 80, she's always bored. She wants to do gardening stuff. So she always goes to her farm. That's what she calls it, every morning. So apparently she went to do her regular farming and she gathered some weeds, and she bent it. So according to her, the fire had gone down and she left and she went to relax. So my household made lunch and went to give her food. So when she was going back to my side of the apartment, then she could perceive smoke. So she went through the corridor and she realized that the smoke is coming from the back. So my room faces the back itself. So she said she went to open my door. And the room, the smoke had engulfed the whole room. So she shut it back and quickly ran to Grandma's place and said, "Grandma, are you burning something at the back of the house?" And she said, "Medum no, diasem." So both of them walked to the back of the house and saw that fire was raising the whole place. By then, my cousin had gone to pick my first daughter from school. So he got back and came to meet the fire. And they went to open the poly tank, and my cousin and my household started pouring water on the fire. So when they were pouring water, the smoke was coming. So they decided that they should take Grandma and the kids out of the house. So they took Grandma and the kids out and drove the 2 cars out of the house. And when they tried coming back to save whatever, the smoke had engulfed the whole house. So they started calling fire service. So I was in town in Tema, all right, not too far. Then a neighbor called me that, Beverly, your house is on fire.
For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com.
Okay.
That's where you find all the news. Daniel.
That's it for this bulletin of Joy News today. My name is Daniel Daze. Up next is the Marketplace with Charles Aite.
You scared me.